What's up, board game people? It's amazing how much can go on in a month. Last month, I really dug in and tried to start pushing out regular content on a consistent schedule, and it's working. The almighty algorithm seems happy, and I'm getting more organized, more disciplined, and a new fire's been lit under me. Things are getting hot, and I don't intend to slow down. Let's start with what came in this month. Well, my UPS guy either really likes that I keep him in a job, or they really hate me because I keep having heavy packages come in almost daily. This month, I got a new boom stand that will be holding my camera when I'm doing top-down filming. I already had a stand for this purpose, but that stand has a better counterweight, and it'll be used to hold down the top-down lighting panel that I bought. Solar 175 arrived at my door along with the Gaza Index, which I believe is a stock trading dice game set in the same universe. This is the first heavier-looking Euro that I own, and I'm interested to find out whether I'll enjoy it or not. My copy of Atmosphere has arrived, and it's been sitting on the shelf waiting for my father-in-law to come and visit in the fall. I'm pretty sure he'll get a kick out of it if he hasn't already seen the game before. Next in was Isofarian Guard, complete with a neoprene mat. This was a late back right before the boxes were loaded onto ships. I missed the campaign, and everything I saw despite the delays said that this was going to be an amazing game. Now I just hope it lives up to my expectations. This was one heavy box. I picked it up thinking it wouldn't weigh that much, and got quite the surprise. I got a copy of Shadows of Brimstone, Swamps of Death in the mail. I recently reached out to Flying Frog Productions and expressed my interest in making some content using their games, and they were kind enough to send me out one of the revised core sets, the Swamps of Death, and one of their coveted hero packs, the Jorgano Natives. So, in addition to the 4 base class heroes, I'll have 2 more to explore with. This month I got my first LaserOx insert, my first ever. This one is for my Madara Chapter 1 box, since we've started playing through it and the 3D printed organizer has started to break already. I'm looking forward to posting a review of the build process and the insert in general in the upcoming months. Then throughout the month, I've created a small mountain of boxes of new tools in what we call the 3D printer room. These are all moving to the garage in due time, but as I create carts for them and clean up out there, they're waiting in here. I really didn't back much this past month. I backed a nifty auto-leveling travel tripod called the Benro Theta Max. The tripods I have might as well have come from the dollar store, and I really needed something light to travel with me to conventions. So with all the bells and whistles, this really fits the bill. I got the Max with the camera control package. I also backed the AR Story Vault dice. I got the 2 basic sets, the RPG dice, because they might come in handy eventually, and I got the pack of dice upgrades for the various AR games. These are totally extra, and I will happily admit that, but sometimes you have to treat yourself. I did some major skips this month. They hurt, but they were necessary. I removed Vindication from my Unsettled pledge so I could go ahead and close that PM out. I would love a copy of Vindication, but I just don't have the money to spare right at this moment. Next was the hard one. I completely skipped the Elder Scrolls Betrayal of the Second Era. Even the entry point was pretty high on this one, and I just couldn't justify the expense this month. I want this game badly, and I'm sure I'll be picking it up from their web store once it releases, but there just wasn't a big draw to put that important money aside and become a backer. I finished out a ton of pledge managers this month and paid some pretty pricey shipping on quite a few of them. I completed Tamashii Chronicle of Ascend. Having removed Vindication, I was able to finish up my Unsettled pledge and pay the shipping. I finished out Evian, upping my pledge to include the all-in with the anthology box. I finished out Divinus with the Chest of Plenty all-in. I got my Tabaru pledge wrapped up with the Hero pledge and the big box. And I paid some absolutely outrageous shipping on my Madara Chapter 2 and 3 with swag and resin minis. This coming month, I need to finish out my Ancient Blood, the Order of Vampires pledge, Unconscious Mind, which I'm still on the fence about, and Deep Madness, which I'm getting everything for. So what have I painted? I actually did a bit of painting this month. We were able to get together with Flanks06 and his wife and played the second chapter of Oathsworn, and I decided there needed to be less gray on the table, so I painted all the walls, and I've cleaned and primed the rest of the terrain pieces, and will be painting them soon. I painted a little more on the Argo, but it'll need a few more sessions before I can really call it good enough. I primed a whole mess of the other minis, and I got a good start painting my hero Zeke Jong for Madara. So this month, we finally got back to Oathsworn into the Deepwood and finished out Chapter 2. My wife doesn't always remember the name of the game, and refers to it as the one she likes, which for her is top shelf praise. We also started Madara and played 2 sessions of it, getting just out of the mass trials. This has become a pretty recurring game night for us, which is great. Shout out to Warren and Melanie who are playing through it with us. So what am I searching for? Not a lot really. Flyos doesn't seem at all interested in helping me get a hold of a copy of Vampire's chapters. Chickens. So I've kind of put that one on hold for the time being. I'm also holding off trying to find a copy of Conan, as I'm kind of thinking maybe they'll do another campaign soon. We'll see. So game room updates. Not much going on in the game room at this very moment. I've set up the room for both game nights and to do a ton of filming, which I need to get done. The light and camera stands pretty much stay in the corners. At some point in May, I'll be moving the giant Elegoo Jupiter resin printer to the garage, where there will be a little rearranging happening. I want to get the cord management done in the game room, but there's no sense in doing that until I move the printer. Alright, let's get to those channel updates. We've blown past 1,500 subs. I can't thank you all enough for watching and becoming part of what I hope will always remain a welcoming community. There's been some great conversations both in the comments and on Discord. The Patreon is going strong and I'm enjoying the interactions over there as well. I'm just so lucky to have such a great group of viewers. I got some Shadows of Brimstone stuff in this month. I already had a sumo pledge with some random enemy packs for Forbidden Fortress, but I'd never opened any of it and I was dragging my feet on finding a good storage solution for all of it. Well, now that Flying Frog Productions has sent me some stuff, I'm taking the plunge through the portal. These aren't sponsored videos, no money is changing hands. I'm just interested in the game and I want to make some content for it. I think of it a little like playing a twisted version of a Stargate game. There's so many different environments and time periods to explore. They had some suggestions of content they'd like to see, such as some explanations of how different settings combine and how the enemy packs help to broaden the game, but they left it up to me as to what I really want to make. As always, all opinions will be my own. I don't filter any of my thoughts, and I have my own set of content that I want to focus on for SOB2. So, hopefully working with them is beneficial to both parties, but in the end, I want to make content that you want to see. If you have any suggestions of what Shadows of Brimstone videos you'd like to see, let me know in the comments. I know I'll cover unboxings, organization, first impressions, and how things come together first, and then I'll work from there. Also at the top of the list of things to do is create a shortish how to play video for Phantom Epoch. Spoiler alert, this isn't going to be a short video. They asked if I'd be willing to take a swing at one, and honestly, it wasn't something I thought to make before, but I figured what the heck. I'll give it a shot, and if nothing else, it'll be a starting point to build from if I want to make more after that. I want to do what I can for Phantom Epoch. It's a very small team with a huge game that needs to be put in front of the masses. Phantom Epoch was exciting to play, and I want to see even more of it. This is one of those passion projects that really deserves a chance to shine, so if I can get some extra eyes on it, I'll do what I can. See, I'm not doing it for them, I'm really just selfish, and I'm doing it for myself, so I get to see where the story leads. So I want to see it get funded. I jest, but hopefully you get the point. I try and help out where I can. The deck is more and more stacked against smaller studios, and it's easy for them to get swept under a rug. When I find good people with good games, I want to do my best for them, and I want to tell everyone about them. Sadly, there aren't always many content creators that will step up and help without collecting outrageous fees, and the few that do are sometimes completely overrun. Small studios can't afford to risk it all with a single content creator who may not even like their game and will just half-ass a video about it. I know there are others out there like me, and I'm glad for that fact. Sadly, even I have to turn down helping in some cases because I'm just overrun with projects. I can always drop a mention, but I can't always drop everything and make a video, as much as I want to. Switching gears, let's start with GenCon. I'm starting to work out my schedule for GenCon, get everything prepared for the trip, and then starting to plan some videos that can go out while I'm gone. Gotta stay on top of that algorithm. I'm hopefully gonna get some good, quick interviews in with quite a few different companies. Some don't have the time for little old me, but others have been awesome when responding to my inquiries. I'm getting more and more excited by the day. If there's something you'd like to see from GenCon, please let me know in the comments. Games, game company booths, even parts of GenCon itself. I'll try and cover as much as I can. GenCon is only the beginning though. I'm actually planning to try to get out to many more conventions over the next year if possible. I've already missed quite a few this year, but I'm making a list and trying to see what all will be feasible for the next year or two. Hopefully, if GenCon works out well, I'll be able to make it out to things like Origins, PAX Unplugged, and maybe even Adepticon. I'd love to really hit the road and cover some conventions overseas, but that's a little further down the road as it gets really expensive. One big thing I have done is decide on the camera I want to film with both at home and on the road. I need something that'll serve dual purposes as I just don't have the money to buy multiple camera types. I also need something that's quick to set up and use. It has to be something that I can film solo with, so I need monitoring that faces the front, remote control of sorts, and something that doesn't require a ton of adjusting during interviews and such. With some help from King of Average and after talking to a friend who's a National Geographic photographer, I decided my best choice would be looking at the electronic news gathering section of professional camcorders. I feel a bit old school even saying that, but the camcorder's making a good comeback, and the new compact 4K models pack some incredible features in a small package. I can't step into the realm of a camera that you might see your local news crew running around with, but there are some closer to entry-level choices that look great and do everything I'll need them to. After a ton of poring over reviews and videos, I settled on the Canon AX75 4K UHD camcorder, so this is being budgeted for. It's going to take quite a while to gather money for it, likely a year or more. The camera has around a $2,700 price tag, but it comes with a solid all-around fixed lens, and the only thing I need to add is better batteries and storage. I'll be dabbling in some different ways to bring in some board game related funds, such as channel merchandise and some board game deluxifications that I've been thinking of making. I can't leave this one squarely on my Patreons, that just isn't fair. So that's about it for the channel updates for April. Let's look at the goals I'm working on for May. I want to get my spreadsheet out this month. I keep getting it updated and just not taking the hour or so to do the final things that I'd need to share it. So I'm going to put that on the official to-do list, and I intend to get it done. Beyond that, I have 2 huge videos that I need to get wrapped up this month. If I get through those in one piece, I'll feel lucky. Upcoming videos to look forward to are the Phantom Epoch How to Play, a first of many Shadows of Brimstone video. I want to do a video going over all the campaigns I'm still looking forward to this year, and I'm going to start working on some videos showing the beginnings of combining expansions and cores for various games to save some space and make playing more convenient. And what am I excited for coming up? It's already launched, but I'm really excited for what more we'll see of the Aeon Trespass Odyssey reprint and the 12 Sins of Heracles that launched this week. Everything I see about 12 Sins of Heracles just gets me more pumped to get my hands on it, and having more additions and add-ons for ATO sounds wonderful as well. So that's it, another month in the bag for 2023, and more things coming down the line for the rest of the year than I can believe. If you ever have any comments, questions, critiques, or suggestions for the channel, let me know in the comments of any video. I try and keep up with as many of the comments as I can. Thank you all for coming along on this crazy ride. I appreciate the company. Subscribe, hit that bell, hit like, it all helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, commenting, and those supporting the channel on Patreon. We'll be back very soon with news. Have a great week and stay safe.